can Chat GPT tune a carburetor? So, as some of you who have watched before know, this is my 1951 Chevy pickup. And I saw someone do a video where they asked Chat GPT to tune their carburetor, and they had success with it. So I'm gonna try it out because this thing, it runs good, but runs a little rich, sometimes has hard starting, and sometimes it just won't idle very well. So I've tried playing with it a little bit, but I'm still learning for carburetors. So we're gonna basically go off of Chat GPT and give it a shot, see if it can make my life a little bit easier. And we're gonna go off of timing that it suggests, jets, everything, fuel pump cam, the whole 9 yards. So we are going to give it a shot, but first we're gonna run to the local speed shop and get some parts. All right, bad news. So the speed shop is closed until Monday. It's currently Saturday. I was able to get a gasket set and a power valve locally, but for the squirters and diaphragm springs, I have to order those. They probably won't be here till Wednesday. I'm gonna see what I have at my house, but I don't think I have the parts, and I'll see what I can do today. So for now, while I'm waiting on those parts, I'm gonna go do what I can do. I think I have the jets. I don't have a diaphragm spring or the squirters, so I can do jets, power valve, timing, and check the floats and all that. So we're gonna do that for now, and then I guess we'll see how that is. And ideally, it at least makes it somewhat better. I did actually stall out on the way home, so I'm running really rich. So ideally, I follow what it's saying, and it helps me out a little bit. So, all right. So basically, where we're at is I have my jets and cams there. So ChatGPT said to use a 6.5 power valve and 66 primary jets. So I know I have a 4.5 power valve in there, and according to this, I have 70 jets in there. So I'm going to drop down to 66, and based on these are used clearly in my new jet kit. So I think I had 66 originally, and I put the 70 in. Now, I don't remember why I did that, honestly. We're going to throw the new 66s in there. So I'm going to throw the two new jets in there, the 6.5 power valve, and then I'm going to throw, it says do the orange cam. Now, in there right now, I have, looks like white, or maybe that's blue but faded. I'm not exactly sure. When I pull it out, I'll get a better look, but it says to put orange in there on the second hole. So we're gonna follow this. I'm gonna adjust my choke to what it said as well, and then I'll plug the vacuum advance. We'll check timing and go from there. So digging through the garage, I found this, which is another Holley 4160 Street Warrior. This one came on my motor when I got it. So what I'm gonna do is open this one up and see actually what's inside of this. I have this trick kit too. So I'll see what's inside of here. Maybe I have the parts I need for that. I think that one has a 28 squirter. I think this one's a 31. So I'll double check this one, see, I might have everything. Okay, so I was able to shine the light down in there. I'm not gonna be able to do it with the camera. But the front of this squirter actually says 32. And I just pulled one out of this one, and it is a 31. So this one is what I just pulled out. And you can see that's a 31. So I am gonna swap these squirters, and then now I'm gonna check the diaphragm spring for that one, and hopefully it's the one I need, and then maybe I can cancel my order and get my money back. I was able to switch those out, and you can see maybe 32. So so far I have the bigger power valve in there, the smaller jets, smaller squirter, which does make sense because it's leaning it out a little bit, and like I said, I was running rich. So now I'm just going to check the diaphragm spring. Hopefully I have that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so according to Chat GPT, it's saying I need a yellow spring in there. Now this one on the left is the one I just pulled out. Let's not lose those. This is the one I pulled out of the one that was currently in there. So no coloring, very silver. This one is the one I just pulled out. Now it does have a little bit of a yellow to it. I don't know if it's coming off on camera. Now I don't know if that's because it's the yellow spring or if the fuel from it being in there for a while made it kind of look like that. Not 100% sure, but it does look more yellow than that one. So we're gonna throw it in, and if it doesn't change, it doesn't change, but worth a shot. All right, we got that in, but I'm noticing that the float is sticking. There you go, you can see it's dropping just way late. So while we have this all apart, I am gonna throw a new one in there because it came with two in the kit. So I'm gonna swap that out, and then we'll start putting everything back together. All right, so far, bowl's back on. Everything's hooked back up besides the fuel line. I have to reset the float levels because I had all that apart. So I'm gonna do that now. And then I will change the cam on the other side, and I think we're ready to give it a test drive. All right, so I adjusted the rear float as well and realized that one was too high. So I'm almost wondering if I also had the front one too high. I just realized when I was adjusting it now that I was leaning over this passenger side, so it was pushing this side down. So it was putting more fluid towards this side. So then when I actually wasn't putting pressure on this side, it stopped coming out this way. So I think the first time I was adjusting it, I might have also been leaning on this fender, and I could have had the floats set improperly. Those are both fixed now. I am going to wipe the inside of the carb just to kind of see if I can tell a difference, because obviously it just looks way too rich right now, and I want to be able to tell clearly. So I'm going to wipe that down, change the cam on the other side, and we'll go from there. All right, I got the fuel pump cam pulled out, and it does look like it was blue at one point, just because you can tell the edges. I think it's just faded from heat. So I'm gonna throw the orange on hole number 2, just like Chat GPT said, and then we'll mess with the timing. All right, so she sounds pretty good. Running smooth. Got it right around maybe 800 RPMs. So I'm gonna take it on a drive, actually down to a car show. And it's about an hour drive, so I'd say we'll get to test it pretty well, and we'll see how well Chat GPT did. All right, so it's actually a couple days later. I've driven it a couple times, drove it to work, drove it around, done a couple hours on it, and honestly, the truck surprisingly drives great. So, yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble with your carburetor, doesn't hurt to ask Chat GPT, because that's now, I mean, the first video I watched, they had good luck with it, and now I had good luck with it, so give it a shot. But like and subscribe. Instagram link is down in the description. See you in the next one.